terms of like the successful version of you. So you have to kind of bring these two together. You have to integrate them. And how you integrate them is by preparing yourself right now and preparing your environment and preparing your mental, emotional, and physical state for success. And what do we mean by that? Well, that means that you have to start taking steps, taking actions, and making decisions as though you are already that success, right? Because if you are feeling that you aren't evolved enough, or that you don't have the information or the background or the ability to succeed, or it's not in your nature to succeed, or you have a limiting belief around success and how people in your family or people like you do not succeed, well, right there, that is energy that's blocking you from that success. So no matter how hard you are working, there is always this energetic barrier. Now, that's not to say that you can't achieve success, but why make things more difficult for you, right? So there is this element, and I talk about creating the safety around success, because if you don't feel worthy or deserving, or if you feel that is sort of out of character or out of your ancestral line to be a successful, whether it's a business person or having personal success and whatever that means to you, if you feel that that is unlike your nature, or out of your nature, or out of your comfort zone, or not something that happens to people like you, or to people from your family, or to people from your background, or whatever it is that you are thinking about, any thought that you have that goes against the success is energetically holding you back. It's like an anchor to this belief, and we need to release those beliefs as much as possible. Now, like I said, it doesn't mean that you can't succeed even with these beliefs, because you can, right? And many, many people do. But it is a much easier journey, and it is a much more fulfilling experience if you can recognize that those are just energetic blockages to what you want. And not everything can be just eliminated by thinking it through, right? You can't just be like, oh, I'm deserving because I know I'm deserving, right? It's kind of hard to fight against those limiting beliefs sometimes when they're really ingrained. And sometimes you don't even realize that you have them. And so what you need to do is just address it in a stepwise fashion, right? And as you move forward, address the next thing that you're looking at, and be aware of your thoughts, be aware of your space, be aware of the kinds of things and stories that you are telling yourself when you are working on whatever your dream is. Now, it's easier for me to focus this conversation if I have an idea of maybe what you are, what your goals and dreams and ambitions are. And it can be your desire to be the CEO of a company, or it can be your desire to just impact your community, right? Those are all valid goals, and whatever they might be, if you don't feel like you can accomplish it, that's the first block, right? And so how do we start moving towards that success? How do we start taking the steps in order to create the safety around success? And why safety? Why do I use the word safety? I use safety because if you feel like you're not deserving, or if it's not for you, or not something that, something that's really out of your comfort zone, then the idea of succeeding feels unsafe. It's like, oh, I can't hold space for that success. Or even if you succeed, you're always feeling like everything's about to fall apart at any moment. And so that is not standing in your truth. That is not a grounded success. It is sort of this wobbly version of success where you're always anticipating failure at every corner. And so what we need to do, I say we because everything is we, I feel like it's a collective exercise, is to create the space for the success in your life. So and how you can do this is one of the ways, and one of the things that I encourage people to do is the GPS workbook. And the reason that I suggest the GPS workbook, and for those of you who do not have it yet, go ahead and download that for free right now. Go to the GPS workbook, and it asks you several questions. And of course, we talk about the GPS word and what your foundational word is, and that is the word that anchors you in alignment consistent with what you're looking for, right? We're using the feeling. But the other things that exist in that workbook and how that pertains to this conversation is it will have you go through and answer questions about your alter ego. And I've done a show about that before where we talked all about alter ego. And this alter ego, this like successful version of yourself, is that version that holds space for the success, is that version that feels safe being successful, right? But you have to step into that version of yourself. So when you answer the questions in the GPS workbook, it's going to show you what kinds of choices that successful version of yourself makes, right? What types of decisions, what types of chances, what you feel that successful version of you looks like, feels like, acts like, and what, that person does. Right? And when you get a clear vision and a clear picture of what that person does, then part of your steps towards creating the safety around success is by stepping into that person more and more any chance you get. So when you take a look at, hey, the successful version of me will take more chances. The successful, or abundant version of me will invest in my future or invest in my business. The successful version of me will, make different choices because they will be more confident, right? And so you need to be aware of the disconnect between that version that you are now, that you see yourself as now, and how you see yourself now, and the version that you think you are going to be when you achieve that success, because it is that disconnect. That is where the space is between what we are doing right now and our future success. Because if we are not fully stepping into that successful version of us, then there is always something holding us back because we will feel unprepared and unready for whatever comes our way, right? If you are someone who wants to be on television or have your own show or be an influencer, right? And you show up and you start doing the things, but you're not feeling validated. You're not getting enough likes. You're not feeling that people can see you or hear you or, that you're really having any impact. And you feel that that's the way it's always going to be. Well, then you are going to present yourself very differently than someone who's like, you know what? I don't have many likes. I don't have much going on right now, but I have a vision for the future. And this is just the beginning. And I am going to understand that this is part of the process, and it is inevitable that I will, end up being an influencer, or it is inevitable that I will end up with my own show, or it is inevitable that, whatever that future idea that you have is. When you feel like it is inevitable because you are in the process of creating that future, well, then success becomes inevitable, right? Because that's how you are setting yourself up. That is how you are creating the space, right? And let me tell you something, especially if you're, into social media as an influencer, or you have an online business or anything in that respect, right? Everything takes time and takes commitment and takes dedication and takes consistency. And so when you first start out things, and even if it's not first, even if you've been doing it for a while, you have to give time for that consistency and for that commitment to create momentum. And so when that consistency creates momentum, then you also become a lot more clear because you make little adjustments and changes as you go because you are doing it, you are participating in it, and you are actively creating that future. Actively creating that future because what you're doing right now, you see the connection between what you're doing now and what's coming in the future. And so how it's creating safety is this, and I'm using social media because obviously this is where I have my business online and on social media. And taking the steps to create the safety around that success involves testing things out, trying things, asking questions, doing research, like market research, putting yourself out there. And with each and every step that you take, and especially at the beginning where maybe a ton of people aren't watching you, or maybe you don't have all of the success yet. It gives you time to work things out. It gives you time to make the adjustments that you need, thereby making it feel safer for the success down the road, because you are taking the steps right now and you are seeing what works and what doesn't, right? And you are slowly moving forward in the direction that you want to go, seeing that each adjustment is bringing you closer to that achievement. And so that is the safety that you need to create your success. You have to feel like every step has a purpose, right? Even the steps that don't go well, if you recognize them as steps to teach you something, to give you information so that then you can make adjustments for the future or adjustments on your journey, then it doesn't feel like failure. It doesn't feel like, oh, I'm trying and not getting what I want. It feels more like an experiment. Oh, here's an adjustment. That didn't turn out the way I wanted. Oh, here's another adjustment. That didn't turn out exactly the way I wanted. Let me try again. So I hope that this message is bringing some clarity, if anybody is listening, to how you can create safety around your success. The idea is that you really need to bring together the person who you are right now and the person who you think is going to achieve all of the stuff, and we all have that vision of the version of ourselves that's successful, right? We all have that vision of, when I'm successful, I'm going to, make sure I wake up at 5:00 in the morning, and I'm going to make sure I work out every day, and I'm going to make sure I, blah, blah, blah. And you have all these ideas of what the successful version of you might look like. But the truth is that you are right now, in this moment, the successful version of you. You just have to direct your energy towards the goal, and don't worry about how it's going to work out. Just take the steps that you need in order to move forward and make it happen, and create the atmosphere for it to exist in your life, right? So if you want to, work outside of the house, but you are in a situation where you can't leave your house right now, well, you have to set things up so that you are able to leave however many times you do. You have to set yourself up so that if an opportunity comes your way, you could drop everything and jump on that opportunity. If you're not ready to jump on the opportunities that come your way, then no matter how hard you're working, then when the opportunities come, you have to turn them down because you're not prepared. You have to be prepared as much as possible. Now, you guys know, I always say what's meant for you will not be kept from you. So even if you're not prepared, you don't beat yourself up, don't feel guilty or ashamed. I'm just letting you know that this is going to make things easier if you are prepared for the success to show up at any time. If you are already taking the steps to go in the direction that you want. If you are already putting time and attention and focus on what your vision is for the future, and allowing yourself to make the decisions that allow that vision for the future to exist in the now if suddenly things work out. Okay, I hope that was helpful. Good morning, Leslie. So nice to see you. Yes, I'm glad that made sense. I hope I'm making sense. All right. Let's do our morning routine. I know I have to pull a card, and I got all distracted with my conversation because once again, it's an important conversation, and I don't have my candle. Oh wait, I have one candle here. Does this still work? Sure, why not? All right, this candle works. I just have to. All right, so I got it. Yay! See right there. All right, so let's light our candle. Okay, we're gonna do our morning routine. I don't know if you guys prefer like me doing the morning routine at the end of the talk or at the beginning, the way I've been doing it before. I'm looking at maybe making some adjustments in how I do things on the show. So I'm always open to feedback if anybody, has any thoughts on that. Good. All right. Just smelling the essential oils, grabbing the clear quartz, and we're just going to go ahead and take 3 deep breaths, okay? And these deep breaths are going to be deep and intentional. The first deep breath, we're going to open up the top of our head, and we're going to imagine liquid sunlight pouring in, filling our body with healing light, and just breaking apart or dissipating any stuck, stagnant, or dense energy. Let's do that together now. And hold. And release. with your feet well planted on the ground, we're going to imagine that the roots are coming from the earth and just breaking through with that powerful life force energy, the same life force energy that helps the flowers break through the ground in the spring and start budding and blossoming. And we're going to imagine that that root comes up through our feet and also permeates all of our body, filling us with this beautiful, powerful life force energy, filling us with the charge we need for the day, okay? And just imagine those little charging lights on the side. It's what I like the battery lights going boop, 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 and we charge up together, okay? Here we go. Deep breath. And hold. And release. Beautiful. Okay, and one last deep breath. Let's make it count. We want to increase our capacity to breathe. We want to increase our capacity to receive all the beautiful things that the universe has to offer us. We want to charge up using sunlight and the earth's power and just bring it all in and feel that magnificent power of the planet and of source in our bodies. Okay, here we go. And hold. And release. Beautiful. Good morning, Mom. All right, here we go. Let's stretch. Oh, my neck is a mess today. I don't know about you guys, but it's been not fun for my neck. You can stretch whatever else you need to stretch. There we go. Oh, stretching is important because you want to clear your vessel, right, of any stuck or stagnant energy, just like we did with our breathing. We also want to release any tension in our body to make sure that our vessel is clear so we can receive any information and allow it to flow freely through our body without any blockages in the way. All right. I think that's it for me. Whew. I could totally use an hour of stretching, but we don't have that kind of time. Let's shake it out together, shake it out. And let's say our morning ritual prayer here on Me First Mornings. Whatever words you have for your intention, please set it now using either your GPS word or just the feeling that you want to capture for today. If you would like to say your own prayer based on your own spiritual religious beliefs, that works too. Or if you want, just sit silently and listen to this and have this or intend that this is also a prayer for you. Okay, here we go. Divine Mother, Infinite Father, Creator, Ascended Masters, Archangels, Spirit Guides, Ancestors, and all beings of 100% pure white light, allow me to be a clear and open channel of your light and love without hesitation or ego. I ask, may the highest vibration of infinite consciousness connect with my higher self and release any and all things that no longer serve me. I ask that Saint Germain and his infinitely powerful violet flame burn away the things that no longer serve myself or humanity and hold us back from our divine existence. Help us to embody our intentions for the day and help us raise the collective vibration for the highest and greatest good of all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So be it, and so it is. Okie dokie. Let's pull a card from our enchanted map deck. Let's see, here we go. And what does Source have, or our spirit guides, our spiritual support team, what does our spiritual support team have to say about preparing for success, right? Creating space for success, creating safety around success. Let's find out. All right, here we go. Today's Wednesday. All right, tomorrow's Thursday. Wow, this week's going by fast, people, fast. All right. One more time. Ooh, all right. Here's our card, number 7. Into the unknown. Interesting card today, guys, right? Into the unknown. And actually it was upside down, so we need to pay attention to this. And so what is this, right? We're talking about creating safety around success, creating space for success. And the card that comes up is into the unknown. And this is a beautiful card and it makes total sense because we are stepping forward when we are planning for our future, when we have our vision for what we want our success or our future to look like. We have this vision, and sometimes we cling on to what we think we want or how we want things to work out for us or whatever that vision is. And we get so stuck in our expectations of what it's supposed to look like or how it's supposed to unfold that we can inadvertently slow things down in the process. Now, notice that I didn't say you sabotage or like you ruin things, because I don't believe that that's the case, but you can put yourself in a situation where it does take a little bit longer to get to where you want to go. And so this is boldly moving forward, releasing expectations about what your journey is supposed to look like, and moving forward and trusting that the path is going to unfold exactly as it should for your highest and greatest good, moving forward into the unknown and trusting and surrendering your vision to your spiritual support team. That's what you have to do. You have to have a clear vision, like this is what I want. And as you guys know, here on Me First Mornings, we focus on the feeling, right? So the feeling that I want is I want to create an impact. I want to create connection. I want to create inspiration, motivation, whatever it is that works for you. Those are things that are words that come up for me and what I want to create in the future. And you hold space for that feeling. And whatever that feeling is, then you surrender, right, your vision and say, hey, spiritual support team, here's what I'm looking for. I want the feeling of, connecting with people and creating an impact. Help guide me in my journey so that I can always create an impact and make connections with people. And then each and every choice helps you create connections and create an impact with people. Everything you do. So although you are moving into the unknown because you're not quite sure how things are going to unfold, each and every step is surrendering to that ultimate outcome, right? The ultimate outcome that is out of your control and in the control of your spiritual support team. So you've given them the instructions, right? And you've plugged in your GPS and said, hey, I want to, create connection and impact. That's what I want out of my life. That's what I want out of my vision for the future. That is how I want to accomplish my mission. I want to be impactful and I want to create connection, right? And so then move forward and follow that GPS with every choice, with every step, with every experience that you have. Try to make it a more connected experience. Try to make it a more impactful experience. Try to move in the direction of impact and connection with every choice. And this is how you're going to be able to dive into the unknown and feel good about it, because you may not know what the exact outcome is, but if you lead each moment with that vision, lead each moment with that GPS word or those coordinates and keeping that as your anchor, well, then it is inevitable that you will end up at your destination. And that destination, of course, is that feeling of accomplishment or that feeling of connectedness and impact. Okay, so that is how you can create it. Now, I'm just going to look at the card itself. Number 7, okay, which is into the unknown. Trust, and this is what the card says right here. I love it. Trust, and all shall be revealed. I don't know if you guys can see that. Okay. All right. So this was reversed. Okay. So I'm going to read the reversed so that you guys can hear what it said. Inexperience plus overconfidence can lead you into a dangerous situation for which you're unprepared. Always remember that wisdom comes from experience. Keep an open mind and enter this part of your journey with alert eyes. Don't assume you know this territory. You may not recognize what is hidden by camouflage. This is not a time for careless adventure. I really like that because it brings a whole other element to what we talked about, and it is that preparedness, right? It is make sure that you are prepared for whatever it is that you are, leading yourself towards. So that is in reference to any education that you need to look into, any experience that you need to have, one step at a time. If you are preparing yourself, you will continue to get clarity and confidence with each step, thereby making an additional step and moving in with success, right? Because you're going to be moving forward with success with clarity and confidence versus trepidation when you're really not sure what to do or how to move forward, right? And you will always be sure and you will always have clarity if you make sure that that GPS word is at the top of your mind. What is that anchor? What is it that you're looking for? And make sure that you are in alignment with that GPS, because when you can make sure that you're in alignment with it, then you will not you will not be distracted or taken off course if every step that you make it with the idea of the anchor in mind, right? It's like, oh, does this anchor me to what my vision is? Is this the most, whatever the word is for you, and I used impactful and connection, right? So is this the most connected choice that I can make moving forward? Is this the most impactful choice that I can make moving forward? Or, fill in whatever your word is. Is this the most peaceful choice that I can make moving forward? And so if you are always checking in with that anchor, checking in with that GPS word, then you are going to be taking the exact steps you want to end up where you are, because you are using and choosing to create the space for exactly what you want to exist. Okay, thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Go to Jumpstart for Change on YouTube right now. Smash that subscribe button. Ding that notification bell. I'm here every Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. EST, and I am so happy to have you here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. And don't forget to please spread the word. Get me some more subscribers on my YouTube channel. And, if anybody if there's anybody that that might benefit from our little conversations in the morning or our little Me First ritual, please so much, everyone. I love you. Oh, Leslie, I'm so glad. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'll see you soon. I'll see you, tomorrow. Okay. Have a great day.